After seeing the shocking viral video of our next guest, we knew we had to hear her story. In this video, which was nearly 2 million views, Munchkin, Nicole Jones alleges that she was shot 17 times and left for dead by the woman she claims her ex-boyfriend was cheating with. Please welcome to the show, Nicole Jones.
Nicole, I am so excited to talk to you today for multiple reasons. Obviously, I watched the video on Lonnie's Instagram and I was so intrigued, like, how does this happen? I was outraged more than anything. I was just like, how could this possibly have happened? And at the same time, I'm encouraged that you're gonna share your story and that it hopefully can help another young woman.
Now, before we get into that tragic date, let's start from the beginning. How did you and your ex first meet?
He DM'd me on Facebook.
Wow.
On Facebook, okay.
Mm-hmm.
How long did y'all meet up?
How long before you got to actually meet him in person?
Yeah, so he DM'd me in January of 2019, and I didn't meet him until March.
Okay, so January, March, that's 2 months. And
right.
Obviously from there, when did it become a committed and a serious relationship?
We made it official in May.
Okay,
so that was some time. And it was just you and him. That was the agreement?
Yep.
You were in a committed relationship.
Okay.
Obviously, at some point though, you say that you discovered that your ex was cheating. So how did you find out about the other woman?
So he started this new job later on in that year, and about 2 months into the job, I started seeing her phone calls and text messages. And, I asked him then, I'm like, what do you guys need to talk about so much out of work? And he assured me that it was just a work friendship. When they talk outside of work, it do be about work. So it wasn't until the new year, January, his birthday's in January, I found a birthday card she had gave him. And in the card, it was saying, happy birthday to my inner peace. I know your birthday is going to be so special this year because you're with me now. And it went on, and I addressed him about it. And, I could tell when he's not being honest.
Yeah.
He lied. I could tell when, it just wasn't making sense. So I kind of just pushed and pushed. And I told him to get out that night. I kicked him out that night. And he texted the girl and told him to come pick him up from my house. So that's how initially she knew my address from the beginning.
Wow.
Got it. Now, I just have a question. Before you even suspected that he was cheating and you figured all these things out, what was your relationship like initially? Like, was there any red flags that made you be like, this is not a good guy, or he might be cheating? Was it just like a great relationship prior to all of this?
Yeah, in the beginning, he was so good. Like, I thought he was going to be my husband. My parents loved him. I mean, I thought he just checked all the marks for me. He was perfect for me, But then, I started to peep certain things.
Right. Well, Nicole, let's get to that night. Yeah. Okay, so tell us what happened the night you got shot.
So that night, it was actually Halloween that day. Me and my best friend, we went to another friend of mine's party. And we stayed there for no more than 2 hours, and then we left. We came back. I dropped her off at home. She lives around the corner from me. And I sat down on the couch. I decided to watch some TV. And I got this call from a number I didn't recognize, and I answered, and it was the girl. And she was just saying that he was there at her house with him, and she FaceTimed me. I could see him sleep over there in her bed.
That's bold.
And
that's bold.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw it for myself, and I wasn't gonna argue with the girl no more. It was looking at me dead in my face. I said, okay, you can have him. And she was very upset. She wanted to know what we had been doing, why we had been broken up for a couple of weeks, because that's what it was. Me and him was broken up. And she just wanted to know, were we back together? What was going on? She was hitting him. I hung up. She called back again. I hung up on her again. I might have sat on the couch for another hour or so. And I started to prepare to go to bed. And he has this van that has this very loud, distinct motor sound. And I heard that pull up on my block. And I look outside. I'm like, the audacity, he really gonna come here?
Right.
I'm thinking she kicked him out. So I'm like, you gonna come here and, it's not out of his character because he does do that. So my initial reaction, I just ran outside. You know, I went up the stairs. I went outside. As I walk outside, I'm keeping someone in black with a hood on, and she's by my bedroom window looking down. And as I'm walking up closer, I'm realizing it's not him. And she turns around, and she said, she turns around and she pulls the gun out. And I instantly just think like, wow, this is how I die. You know, I'm just thinking like, wow. And I'm just in shock. I freeze, and she wasted no time. She pulled the gun out and she started shooting me. The first couple of bullets hit me in my stomach, and I fell down to the ground, face down. And then I feel her presence just come over me. And she's still shooting me. She's shooting me all in my back. She's shooting me all in my legs.
What is going through your mind in this moment? I mean, obviously, you're physically in so much pain, but mentally, what are you thinking?
It was a feeling I never felt before. It was just so hot. I just felt like I was dying. Like, it just felt like a slow death. And she just keeps shooting, and I'm screaming for somebody to help me. I'm just screaming for help. And I hear my neighbor on the top floor. She yelled out the window, "Leave her alone. I called the police. Stop shooting her."
Yeah.
And I'm just yelling for her. I'm yelling for her to come and help me. And she's still shooting me. I can't even feel it at this point. I'm just feeling pressure. I'm just feeling the pressure.
17 times.
Is she saying anything while she's shooting?
What is she
or
saying?
Just shooting?
She starts to say, "Die, die, die."
No.
And I'm hearing her saying that, and I said, "Okay, you gotta stop screaming. Like, you gotta stop screaming." And I just put my head down in the street, and I just got quiet. And that's when she ran off, and my neighbor came down.
Would you almost say you like playing dead?
Yeah, you was playing dead?
Yeah, I had to play dead, yeah.
Wow. So what happened to this woman? Was she caught? What happened?
So, about an hour after the detective says they had her in custody. He put it out to all the local stations, and he said they were such a big help, and they had her in custody within the next hour.
So you were laying in the street. How long were you there?
Until the
Before you got
paramedics or
help?
someone came to help you.
I thank God for my neighbor, because she came down right away. The ambulance couldn't have been there no more than 2 minutes.
Oh, wow.
And I just remember her holding my hand, and I just remember asking her, could she call my mom? Because my mom was at the hospital at the time. And I just knew I was dying. So I'm just like, I want to hear my mama's voice. Can you call my mom? And by that time, the ambulance had already came, and they were like checking on me, and they had pushed her away. So I got into the ambulance. I never lost consciousness. I got to the hospital.
That's God.
That is God.
I got to the hospital, and they were just counting. They were turning me. They had took my clothes off, and they were like counting me. You know, I got one gunshot wound here, one GSW here, and I'm not understanding, you know, what they're counting. I could even hear one of my nurses. She's just becoming hysterical. Like, who would do this? Who would do this? Mm-hmm. You know, and next thing I remember, I went into the surgery.
Tell about what the injuries and the recovery.
Yeah, what?
So I got shot 17 times. I got shot total 5 times in my stomach, and mostly in my legs. One hit my spine. I still have a bullet in my spine. That's what's hindering me from walking normally. I walk on a walker. I have to have my bladder reconstructed because I'm not going back to, you know, one bullet pierced my bladder really bad. Wow. So I have to have my whole bladder reconstructed. I'm in therapy, physical therapy twice a week. I'm at doctor's appointments every week.
But let me tell you something, Nicole. You didn't die.
You did. You are a walking, talking miracle. This testimony that you have is on a whole other level. And I really want to know, I know you're saying that you're going to therapy to start walking. Have you considered, obviously, the trauma that this has caused you? Are you talking to somebody? Are you in therapy also for your mind and for, like, to recover in that way?
Yeah, it took me a little minute to find the right therapist. But yes, I am.
Because this is a trauma.
And what happened to that boyfriend?
Exactly.
He called up to the hospital after it happened. He was very apologetic. You know, he was saying how he was going to help me through therapy and stuff like that. But when I got home, he just went ghost. You know, he wouldn't come help. He just pretty much
Ladies,
abandoned me.
listen.
And we want to say that the woman is currently in custody
Yeah.
and awaiting trial.
Yeah. You are a survivor, and obviously, after surviving such a tragic ordeal, what message do you want other women to know who may be in a situation like yours? What would you tell those women?
Pay attention to those red flags. Women just, I know we give our all into these relationships and we love so hard and we're so blinded by love. But if I would have paid attention to the red flags in the beginning and walked away then, I probably could have prevented my situation. So I just, we're worth more.
Yes.
And we're worth more.
Yes,
You know what? We are so sorry what you went through. We want you to keep in touch with us, Nicole.
Yes.
Get that therapy and keep healing.
Yes,
Thank you
that's
so
right.
much again.